Have you ever taken a moment to stop and truly ask yourself, am I heading in the right direction? It's a question we often avoid because it forces us to face where we are and where we're going. But this single question can completely shift your life. Today we're going to talk about something that can change the way you think, act, and move forward. It's not about doing more or working harder. It's about gaining clarity and making sure every step you take leads you closer to the life you want. If you've been feeling stuck, unsure, or even just curious about whether you're making the right moves, this is your chance to dig deeper. By the end of this video, you'll understand how one simple question can guide you to more purpose, progress, and fulfillment. Let's jump in. Number 1, ask about your happiness. Am I happy? Sounds simple, right? But it's more important than you might realize. Most of us go through life without really checking in on ourselves. We get busy, we get distracted, and we forget to ask ourselves if we're truly happy with the life we're living. But here's the thing. Happiness is everything. Without it, you can't really enjoy the other things that life has to offer. It's like trying to drive a car with no fuel. You won't get very far. So ask yourself today, am I happy? And be honest with yourself. Don't just give a quick answer. Really think about it. Are you happy with where you are in life? Are you happy with the way you're spending your time, your energy, and your focus? Now, I know what you might be thinking. You might say, well, I'm not where I want to be yet. I don't have all the things I want. There's still a lot I'm working on. And that's okay. But you don't need to have everything figured out to be happy. Happiness isn't about perfection. It's about contentment with where you are right now. You see, happiness is a choice. It doesn't depend on the job you have, the car you drive, or how much money is in your bank account. It starts with how you choose to see things. If you choose to focus on what you don't have, you'll always feel like something's missing. But if you choose to focus on the things you do have, you'll begin to see how much good is already in your life. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that happiness will come once they reach a certain point. I'll be happy when I get that promotion. I'll be happy when I lose 10 pounds. I'll be happy when my relationship is better. But happiness isn't something you wait for in the future. It's something you create every single day. Think about your day-to-day life. Do you enjoy what you're doing? Are you spending time on things that bring you joy? I'm not talking about big, flashy things. I'm talking about the simple things, like enjoying a good meal, spending time with people you love, or taking a walk outside. Those are the moments that make life worth living. If you're not happy with where you are right now, that's okay too. But don't sit there waiting for things to change on their own. You have the power to make changes. It's all about deciding to take action, little by little, to shift things in the right direction. Oftentimes, what you need to do is simply choose some action, which is a step in the right direction. Here's the thing, your happiness is up to you. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like things aren't going the way you want, it's time to take control. Stop waiting for someone else to make you happy. You make your own happiness. It starts with your attitude. It starts with what you focus on. It starts with you choosing to make the most of what you have right now. And if you're not happy right now, then ask yourself why. What's standing in your way? Is it your job? Your relationships? Your health? Whatever it is, it's time to take action. You don't have to make huge changes all at once. Start small. Make one small decision today that moves you toward a happier life. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to feel good about where you are, even if you're still working toward your bigger goals. It's all about taking one step at a time. Make happiness a priority, and it will follow. And listen, I know it's not always easy. Life can be tough. But remember, happiness isn't about having everything perfect. It's about how you choose to respond to the challenges. It's about finding joy in the journey, not just the destination. So today, take a moment and ask yourself, am I happy? And if the answer is no, don't just accept that. Do something about it. Start small. Change the way you look at things. Focus on the good. Make the choice to be happy today. Remember, happiness isn't something you wait for. It's something you create. You've got the power to make it happen. So get started. Choose happiness right now. Don't wait for it to come to you. Make it part of your life today. Number 2, look at how you spend your time. Now, you might think that's a simple question, but I want you to really stop and think about it. Because here's the deal. How you spend your time is everything. Time is the one thing that, once it's gone, you can never get back. You can make more money, you can make more friends, but you can't make more time. So if you're not spending it wisely, you're losing out. Think about your average day. When you look at it, where is your time going? Are you spending your time doing things that move you closer to where you want to be in life? Or are you wasting it on things that don't really matter? I see too many people filling their days with stuff that doesn't serve them. They spend hours watching TV, scrolling through social media, getting caught up in gossip or handling things that don't help them grow. And I'll tell you, all that time is gone and you'll never get it back. Now, I know life is busy. We all have responsibilities, work, family, paying the bills. I get it. But here's the thing. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're being productive. Busy is not the same as productive. Just because you're filling up your time with tasks doesn't mean you're making progress. Being busy doesn't lead to success. Being productive does. What's the difference? Being productive means you're doing things that push you forward, things that help you get closer to your goals. If your time is being spent on things that don't align with your goals, you're wasting your most precious resource, time. So let's think about this. What are your goals? Where do you want to be a year from now or 5 years from now? What's the life you want to create for yourself? Whatever that is, you're going to need to spend your time in a way that helps you get there. I know it's easy to get distracted. There are a million things trying to steal your time. Emails, phone calls, social media, people wanting your attention. But here's the truth. If you don't control your time will control you. If you're letting other people dictate your schedule, if you're just reacting to what's going on around you, you'll never make real progress. You've got to take control. Start by looking at how you're spending your time right now. If you took a day and really paid attention, what would you find? How much of your time is spent on things that will move you forward? And how much of it is spent on things that are holding you back? If you're spending too much time on things that don't matter, it's time to make a change. It's not about doing more stuff. It's about doing the right stuff. Focus on things that are going to get you closer to where you want to be. Here's a simple exercise. Take out a piece of paper and write down everything you do in a day. From the moment you wake up to the time you go to bed, write it all down. Now, look at that list and ask yourself, which of these activities is really helping me move forward? If you're spending your time on things that don't bring you closer to your goals, it's time to let go of them. It might be hard at first. Sometimes we get comfortable with the way things are. But let me tell you, comfort will not help you achieve your dreams. If you want to get ahead, you've got to make decisions that might be a little uncomfortable at first, but will move you closer to your future success. And look, I know you've got responsibilities. I'm not saying you should neglect them, but you've got to make time for what really matters. You've got to make sure you're spending time on things that help you grow. Your health, your relationships, your learning, your goals. These are the things that will get you ahead in life. Everything else is just noise. Think about the people you spend time with too. Are they helping you get closer to your goals? Do they encourage you to be better, to work harder, to grow? Or do they drag you down? If you want to get ahead in life, you've got to surround yourself with people who inspire you, who lift you up, who want the best for you. The people you spend time with can either help you grow or hold you back. Choose wisely. And one more thing, stop waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time is never going to come. If you're waiting for the perfect moment to start, you'll be waiting forever. The best time to start is right now. Don't wait until everything lines up perfectly. Start where you are with what you have and use your time to make progress. I want you to ask yourself this: if I look back a year from now, will I be glad I spent my time the way I'm spending it today? Will I be closer to my goals? Will I have grown? Or will I look back and realize I wasted time that I can never get back? Because here's the thing. Time is going to pass whether you're intentional with it or not. A year will go by either way. But if you use it wisely, it'll get you closer to your goals. So take control of your time today. Spend it on what matters. Spend it on your growth. Spend it on your goals. Make every minute count, because your time is your most valuable asset. Number 3, align your life with your values. You see, in life, we all have a set of values. Whether you've taken the time to write them down or not, they're there. They're the things that matter most to you. They're the beliefs that guide you. But here's the question. Are you living in a way that reflects those values? It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life. We've all got responsibilities, and sometimes we get so focused on just getting through the day that we forget to ask ourselves whether we're truly living the way we want to. We get caught in the grind, work, family, bills, and we start to lose sight of what really matters. But if you don't make the time to check in with yourself and make sure your life is aligned with your values, you're going to end up living a life that doesn't truly satisfy you. So let's take a step back for a minute and really think about this. What are your values? What are the things that are truly important to you? Maybe it's family. Maybe it's health. Maybe it's honesty or freedom or helping others. Whatever they are, these values are the foundation of your life. They guide the decisions you make, the people you spend time with, and the things you pursue. But here's the catch. You can't just say these values are important to you. You've got to live them. And that's where most people miss the mark. They'll tell you that their family is their number one priority, but then they're spending all their time at work and hardly ever see their loved ones. Or they'll say health is important to them, but they're not taking care of their bodies. They're eating junk, not exercising, and not getting enough rest. It's one thing to say something is important. It's another to live it every day. Your actions have to line up with your values. Think about this. Are your actions and decisions in alignment with what you say is important to you? If not, it's time to make some changes. It's time to stop living in a way that contradicts what you believe in. One of the best things you can do for yourself is take a moment to get really clear on your values. Sit down and make a list. What do you care about most? Write it down. Get specific. Don't just say, I care about my family or I care about my health. What does that really mean? Do you want to be present for your kids? Do you want to be able to play with them without feeling winded? Do you want to feel strong and healthy, not just look good? Get clear on your values and then take a good look at how you're spending your time, your energy, and your focus. If the way you're living doesn't line up with your values, that's a red flag. It's time to make some changes. If family is important to you, but you're spending most of your time at work, it's time to find a balance. If health is important, but you're not taking care of your body, it's time to start making healthier choices. You can't keep ignoring your values and expect to feel fulfilled. Now, I know life isn't perfect. We all have to make compromises and deal with things that don't always align perfectly with our values. But here's the difference. When you're aware of your values and making a conscious effort to live in alignment with them, even the small compromises won't throw you off track. You'll be able to make decisions that honor what's most important to you. even in difficult situations. So, how do you start aligning your life with your values? The first step is awareness. You've got to get clear on what your values really are. Then you need to take a hard look at how you're living. Are your choices, your actions, and your habits supporting those values? If they are, great. Keep going. But if not, it's time to make some changes. Here's the good news. You don't have to change everything at once. Start small. Make one change today that reflects your values. Maybe it's scheduling more time with your family. Maybe it's committing to eating healthier or getting more exercise. Whatever it is, take one step in the direction of living more in line with your values. And remember, aligning your life with your values isn't about being perfect. It's about making consistent progress. Every little action you take that aligns with your values gets you closer to living the life you want. Let me ask you this. What kind of life do you want to look back on? Do you want to look back and say you spent your time on the things that really mattered to you? Or do you want to look back and realize you spent all that time on things that were a distraction? Your values are your compass. They're the things that will keep you on course when life gets tough. They're the things that will help you stay focused and motivated no matter what challenges come your way, but only if you're living in alignment with them. So take the time today to think about your values. Get clear on what matters most to you. And then start living your life in a way that reflects those values. It's not about being perfect, but about being intentional. The more you align your life with what's truly important to you, the more you'll feel fulfilled and on the right path. Number 4, daily actions build the answer. You know, a lot of people have big dreams. They want success, they want a better life, they want to be healthier, or they want to achieve something great. But here's the truth. Your daily actions are the foundation for everything you want to accomplish. It's easy to get excited about a big goal. We all want to change our lives, right? We want to lose weight, start a business, improve our relationships, or make more money. But the big mistake most people make is thinking that all they need is that one big breakthrough, that one moment of inspiration or luck. That's not how it works. Success isn't built on one huge action. It's built on the small things you do every single day. So here's a question for you. What are you doing today that's bringing you closer to your goals? Because if you're not doing something every day, you're not moving forward. And here's something else to think about. No matter how small the action, it all counts. It doesn't matter if it's reading one chapter of a book, making one phone call, or sending one email. Small actions every day over time add up to big results. If you want to lose weight, you don't have to go to the gym for hours every day. But if you take 30 minutes every day to move your body, make better choices with food, and stay consistent, that's where the magic happens. A few months from now, you'll look back and say, wow, I've come a long way. Here's the thing about daily actions. They don't need to be perfect. You don't need to do everything all at once. What matters is that you keep showing up, even on the tough days. When you make small, positive actions part of your daily routine, success starts to feel inevitable. Think about this. What's one thing you can do today that will move you forward? Maybe it's making that call you've been putting off. Maybe it's spending 10 minutes planning your next step. Or maybe it's taking a walk to clear your mind. Whatever it is, just make sure it's moving you in the right direction. And here's what happens when you take those small steps every day. You build momentum. The more you do something, the easier it becomes. The more you read, the more you learn. The more you work out, the stronger you get. The more you practice your skills, the better you become. Consistency is the key here. It's about showing up every day and doing something, anything, that moves you closer to your goals. You don't need to do everything perfectly. You just need to keep doing something every day. Over time, those small actions will lead to bigger results than you could ever imagine. Let me tell you something that's so important. Small actions lead to bigger things. That's how success works. You're building the future you want with every small decision you make right now. Let's say you want to write a book. It's easy to think, I can't do that, it's too big. But you don't need to sit down and write the whole book at once. You just need to write a little every day. Write 300 words a day, and in a year, you'll have a full book. It's the same with any goal. The key is to break it down into small, manageable steps. Don't worry about the big picture all at once. Focus on the small steps you can take today. That's the way to make progress. Now, I know life gets busy. We've all got things going on. Work, family, responsibilities, distractions. But no matter how busy you are, you have time for something small that will move you closer to your goal. The secret is to stop waiting for the perfect moment and start doing something, even if it's small, right now. Remember this, the best time to start is today. You don't need to wait for Monday, next month, or the perfect time. If you want to change your life, start right now with the small things. Every step you take today is an investment in your future. Every small action you make now is laying the foundation for the life you want. Don't let the small things slip by unnoticed. They matter. They add up. So what's the next step for you? What's the one action you can take today that will move you closer to your goals? You have the power to make that decision. And the best part? You don't need to do it all at once. Just take it one step at a time and keep moving forward. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the big moments. It's about the little things you do every day that create lasting change. Number 5, face the truth about your current path. Now, this isn't about being harsh or judgmental toward yourself. It's about being honest. You've got to take a good, clear look at your life as it stands right now. Think about the choices you're making every day, the habits you've formed, and the direction those choices are taking you. Are they leading you toward the life you want, or are they keeping you stuck where you are? Or worse, pulling you further away from your goals? Facing the truth isn't always easy. It can be uncomfortable to admit when something isn't working. Maybe it's a job that doesn't excite you, a routine that doesn't challenge you, or habits that you know aren't helping you grow. But let me tell you, there's power in acknowledging the truth. The moment you stop ignoring the signs and start addressing them, you take back control of your life. Think about it like this. If you're driving a car and realize you've taken a wrong turn, what do? You don't just keep driving, hoping you'll magically end up at your destination. No, you stop, figure out where you went wrong, and then correct your course. Life is the same way. If you're not happy with where you're heading, the sooner you face it, the sooner you can make the changes you need. Now, I know this can feel overwhelming. It's tempting to avoid the hard questions or convince yourself that everything's fine when deep down, you know it's not. But avoiding the truth doesn't make it go away. In fact, the longer you ignore it, the harder it becomes to change. That's why it's so important to pause and take an honest look at your life right now. Where are you? What's working? What's not? Your current situation is not your final destination. Just because you're on one path right now doesn't mean you're stuck on it forever. You have the power to change direction. You have the ability to make new choices that align with the future you want. But it all starts with awareness. You can't fix what you don't face. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone who's stuck in a job they don't love. They wake up every day dreading work, but they tell themselves it's fine because it pays the bills. Deep down, though, they know they're not happy. They know they're capable of more. Now, they could keep going like this for years, convincing themselves that it's okay. Or they could keep going to face the truth and ask themselves, Is this really the life I want? That question might be uncomfortable, but it's also the beginning of change. The same goes for any area of your life, your health, your relationships, your habits, your goals. If something doesn't feel right, don't ignore it. Don't settle for less than what you deserve. Instead, use that discomfort as a sign that it's time to reevaluate your path. Making changes doesn't have to be dramatic. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. It's about taking one step at a time. Maybe it's learning a new skill that excites you. Maybe it's having an honest conversation with someone. Maybe it's letting go of a habit that's holding you back. Whatever it is, the key is to start. When you start to take those small steps, something incredible happens. You begin to build momentum. Each step gives you more confidence, more clarity, and more motivation to keep going. Before you know it, you're not just moving forward, you're creating a whole new path for yourself. Facing the truth about your current path isn't about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about being willing to look at where you are and deciding to make a change. It's about realizing that you're in control of your life and you have the power to create a better future. So let me ask you again, if you keep doing what you're doing today, where will you end up a year from now? And if that's not where you want to be, what are you willing to do about it? You don't have to wait for the perfect moment to start. The perfect moment is now. Take a deep breath, face the truth, and take that first step. Your future self will thank you. Number 6, look at your daily routine. Every single day, you follow certain habits, some intentional and some just automatic. Those habits, those routines, are like the building blocks of your life. If you want to know where your life is heading, just take a look at what you do every day. Here's the thing. Your routine isn't just about the big tasks you check off your list. It's the small, seemingly insignificant things you do without even thinking. It's how you spend your mornings, how you handle your work, how you wind down in the evening, and even the thoughts you entertain throughout the day. These small actions, repeated over time, create your results. Now let's get honest. Is your daily routine helping you or holding you back? That's the real question. If you're not seeing the progress you want in your life, chances are it's because your routine isn't aligned with your goals. And that's okay. It's something you can change. But first, you have to take a close, honest look at how you're spending your time. Think about how you start your day. Do you wake up feeling rushed and unprepared? Or do you have a morning routine that sets you up for success? A solid morning routine is one of the most powerful ways to take control of your day. It doesn't have to be complicated, but it should include things that energize you and get you focused. Maybe it's spending a few minutes planning your day, reading something inspiring, or just taking a moment to breathe and clear your mind. When you start your day with purpose, it changes everything. Now let's look at the rest of your day. How do you spend your time? Are you focused on what matters most, or do you find yourself distracted by things that don't really matter? Be honest with yourself. If you're spending hours scrolling on your phone, getting caught up in gossip, or procrastinating, that's time you're never going to get back. And here's the truth. Every minute you waste is a minute you could have spent building the life you want. But here's the good news. You can take back control of your time. You can design a routine that works for you instead of against you. Start by identifying what's truly important to you. What are your goals? What do you want to achieve? Once you're clear on that, ask yourself, is my daily routine helping me get there? If it's not, it's time to make some changes. Changing your routine doesn't mean you have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start small. Focus on one habit at a time. Maybe it's committing to reading for 10 minutes a day, exercising for 20 minutes, or setting aside time to work on a personal project. Whatever it is, make it manageable and consistent. Small changes done consistently add up to big results over time. And don't forget to evaluate your evenings. How you end your day is just as important as how you start it. Are you winding down in a way that prepares you for tomorrow? Or are you staying up late, wasting time, and waking up feeling exhausted? A good evening routine can make all the difference. Use that time to reflect on your day, plan for tomorrow, and relax in a way that recharges you. Entirely different from the fear, wishes, expectation, overdetermination, a coping mechanism to recharge and relax, and a way that recharges you. Here's another thing to consider. Your routine isn't just about what you do, it's also about how you think. Pay attention to the thoughts you allow into your mind throughout the day. Are you focusing on opportunities, growth, and solutions? Or are you stuck in a cycle of doubt, negativity, and excuses? Your mindset is a huge part of your routine, and it shapes how you show up in every area of your life. Now let's get practical. Take a piece of paper and write down everything you do in a typical day, from the moment you wake up to the time you go to bed. Be honest, don't sugarcoat it. Then, look at that list and ask yourself, is this the routine of someone who's moving toward their goals? If it's not, that's okay. The fact that you're willing to look at it is a big step. Now you can start making adjustments. The routine is the framework. Then you decide what to do as the goal. Remember, your routine is a reflection of your priorities. If your routine is filled with things that don't matter, it's time to realign. Replace distractions with actions that move you closer to where you want to be. Replace bad habits with good ones. And remember, consistency is the key. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up every day and doing your best. Your daily routine is your foundation. It's the structure that supports everything else in your life. If you build a strong routine, you'll create a strong life. But if your routine is weak or scattered, it's going to be hard to make progress. The good news is you're in control. You get to decide what your routine looks like. You have the power to create a routine that supports your dreams and helps you grow into the person you want to become. So take a good look at your daily routine. Be honest with yourself. Make the changes you need to make, and then stick with it. Because the life you want is built one day at a time, one action at a time, one habit at a time. It's all in your hands. Start today. You've got this. Number 7, check your work and goals. These two things are deeply connected. Your work is what you do every day to move forward, and your goals are where you're heading. The big question is, are they aligned? Are the things you're doing each day actually helping you get closer to the life you want? This is where it's time to pause and reflect. It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life. We fill our days with tasks, deadlines, meetings, and to-do lists, but sometimes we forget to ask a very important question. Is all this effort actually taking me where I want to go? You see, work isn't just about being busy, it's about being effective. You can spend hours working hard and still feel like you're standing still if your work isn't tied to a clear purpose. So here's what I want you to do. Take a step back and really look at the work you're doing. Is it meaningful? Is it aligned with your goals? Is it helping you grow? If the answer is no, then it's time to make some changes. Let's talk about goals for a minute. Your goals are the vision you have for your future. They're what give your work purpose and direction. Without clear goals, it's easy to drift through life, doing what's expected of you, but never really feeling fulfilled. So ask yourself, what are your goals? Do you have a clear vision of where you want to be in the next year, 5 years, or even 10 years? And are those goals specific? Vague goals like, I want to be successful or I want to be happy, aren't enough. You need to know what success and happiness look like for you. Once you're clear on your goals, the next step is to connect them to your daily work. This is where the magic happens. When your work and your goals are aligned, every task, every project, every effort feels meaningful because you know it's taking you closer to where you want to be. But if there's a disconnect between the two, you'll start to feel frustrated and unfulfilled, no matter how hard you work. Here's the thing about goals. They're not just something you set and forget. You've got to check in on them regularly. Life changes, and sometimes your goals need to change too. Maybe you've grown, and the things you wanted a year ago no longer excite you. That's okay. What's important is that you're honest with yourself and willing to adjust when needed. Goals are there to serve you, not the other way around. And don't just check your goals, check your progress. It's not enough to have big dreams. You need a plan to get there. Break your goals down into smaller, actionable steps, and then hold yourself accountable for making progress. This is where your daily work comes in. Each day should include at least one action that moves you closer to your goals. It doesn't have to be a giant leap, but it does need to be a step in the right direction. Now let's talk about the quality of your work. Are you giving your best effort, or are you just going through the motions? It's easy to fall into the habit of doing the bare minimum, especially if you're feeling stuck or unmotivated. But here's the truth. The level of effort you put into your work reflects the level of commitment you have to your goals. If your goals really matter to you, your work should show it. Sometimes the issue isn't effort, it's focus. Are you spending your time on what truly matters, or are you getting distracted by things that don't? This is where prioritization comes in. Not all tasks are created equal. Some will have a huge impact on your progress, while others are just busy work. Learn to identify what's important and focus your energy there. Remember, it's better to do a few things well than to spread yourself too thin. Now let's address the elephant in the room. What if you're working hard, but it doesn't feel like enough? Maybe you're putting in the hours, but you're not seeing the results you want. If that's the case, it's time to evaluate your approach. Are you working smart, or are you just working hard? Sometimes we fall into the trap of thinking that more effort equals more progress, but that's not always true. Strategic planning overcomes that belief. It takes a smart leader to deal with the faster-paced and the longer-term planning that sometimes we fall into the trap of thinking that more effort equals more progress. But that's not always true. Efficiency matters just as much as effort. Look for ways to improve your methods, learn new skills, or seek guidance from others who've been where you want to go. And let's not forget about balance. Your work is important, but it's not the only thing that matters. Your health, your relationships, your personal growth, they're all part of the bigger picture. If you're neglecting these areas in pursuit of your goals, you'll end up feeling burned out and disconnected. Success isn't just about achieving your goals. It's about enjoying the journey along the way. So here's what I want you to do. Take some time today to really check in with yourself. Look at the work you're doing and the goals you've set. Are they aligned? Are they meaningful? Are they taking you closer to the life you want? If the answer is yes, then keep going, keep building, keep improving, and keep growing. But if the answer is no, don't be afraid to make adjustments. It's never too late to change your direction. Your work and your goals are a partnership. When they're working together, you create momentum, you start to see progress, feel more fulfilled, and build a life that truly reflects your values and dreams. But that only happens when you take the time to evaluate and adjust. So start today. Check your work, check your goals, and make sure they're aligned. Because when they are, there's nothing you can't achieve. Number 8, focus on learning and growth. This isn't just about picking up a book or taking a class, though those are great steps. It's about making the decision to keep improving yourself every single day. Because here's the truth. If you're not growing, you're staying still. And in life, standing still is the same as falling behind. Growth doesn't just happen. You have to choose it. You have to decide that you're going to be better tomorrow than you are today. It starts with one simple question. What can I learn today that will help me move forward? Whether it's a new skill, a new perspective, or even learning from a mistake, there's always something to gain. Now let's get practical. Think about the areas of your life where you want to grow. Maybe it's your career, your health, your relationships, or even your mindset. Growth begins with awareness, knowing where you are now and where you want to be. Once you're clear on that, you can start identifying the knowledge and skills you need to bridge that gap. For example, if you want to advance in your career, what's the next skill you need to master? Is there a course you can take or a mentor you can learn from? If you want to improve your health, what habits do you need to develop? Maybe it's understanding nutrition or learning how to exercise effectively. Whatever it is, growth always begins with learning. Here's the beauty of it. Learning doesn't just make you better at what you do. It changes who you are. Every time you challenge yourself to learn something new, you expand your potential. You start to see possibilities you didn't see before. You gain confidence because you realize you're capable of more than you thought. And most importantly, you create momentum. Growth builds on itself. The more you learn, the more you can do, and the more you can achieve. But here's where a lot of people get stuck. They think they don't have time to learn. Life is busy, we've all got responsibilities, deadlines, and distractions. But the truth is, you don't need hours a day to focus on growth. Even a few minutes can make a difference if you're consistent. Start small. Read for 10 minutes a day. Listen to a podcast during your commute. Watch a video that teaches you something new. The key is to make learning a habit. When you do, it becomes a natural part of your day. And over time, those small efforts add up to big results. Now let's talk about one of the best teachers in life, failure. Nobody likes to fail, but the truth is, failure is one of the most valuable learning experiences you'll ever have. When something doesn't go the way you planned, don't get discouraged. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Every mistake holds a lesson, and every lesson is a step toward growth. It's also important to surround yourself with people who challenge and inspire you. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Seek out mentors, colleagues, and friends who push you to think bigger, work harder, and keep learning. Growth isn't something you have to do alone. In fact, some of the most powerful lessons come from the people you interact with. Another key to growth is staying curious. Curiosity is the spark that leads to discovery. Don't just accept things at face value, ask questions. Why does this work the way it does? How can I do this better? What's another way to approach this? Curiosity keeps your mind open and helps you see opportunities where others see obstacles. And let's not forget about mindset. Growth starts in your mind. If you believe you've already learned everything you need to know, you've closed the door to new possibilities. But if you have a growth mindset, believing that you can always improve and get better, you open yourself up to endless potential. So how do you build that mindset? It starts with your attitude toward challenges. Instead of avoiding them, embrace them. Challenges are opportunities to grow. When you push yourself outside your comfort zone, that's where the real learning happens. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but that's a sign you're growing. Remember, growth isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about being better today than you were yesterday, and better tomorrow than you are today. It's a journey, not a destination, and the only way to stay on that journey is to keep learning. Let me ask you this. What's one thing you can learn today that will make tomorrow better? It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's a skill you've been meaning to pick up. Maybe it's a new way to handle a problem. Or maybe it's something as simple as a piece of advice from someone who's been where you want to go. Whatever it is, commit to it. Take that step, because when you focus on learning and growth, you don't just improve your life, you change it. You become the kind of person who keeps moving forward no matter what. And that's the kind of person who creates success, not just once, but over and over again. So start today. Make learning a priority. Stay curious, stay committed, and keep growing. Because the more you grow, the more you can achieve. And the more you achieve, the more you'll realize you're capable of more than you ever imagined. Number 9, keep asking yourself regularly. The right questions don't just give you answers, they help you reflect, realign, and grow. If you don't take the time to check in with yourself, it's easy to drift. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and before you know it, you're wondering where the time went. But when you make it a habit to ask yourself meaningful questions, you keep your focus sharp, your purpose clear, and your progress on track. Now, what kind of questions am I talking about? Let's start simple. Ask yourself, am I happy with where I'm at right now? Be honest. Don't sugarcoat it. If the answer is yes, great. What are you doing that's working? Can you do more of it? And if the answer is no, that's okay too. The important thing is to recognize it so you can start making changes. Another powerful question is, am I spending my time on what truly matters? Time is one of your most precious resources. You can't make more of it, and once it's gone for good. Look at your daily routines, your work, and even your leisure time. Are these activities helping you grow? Are they aligned with your goals, or are they just filling the hours? When you ask yourself this regularly, you'll start to notice patterns, and you can make adjustments to use your time more wisely. Ask yourself about your growth. What have I learned recently? Growth is a constant process, and learning is its foundation. If you haven't learned something new in a while, that's a sign you're stuck in your comfort zone. Step out of it. Try something different, even if it feels uncomfortable. Growth happens when you challenge yourself, not when you stay where it's easy. Here's another one. What's holding me back? We all have obstacles, but sometimes the biggest ones are the ones we put in our own way. Fear, doubt, procrastination. These are things we can overcome if we're willing to face them. When you ask yourself what's really holding you back, you start to see where you need to focus your energy. And once you identify those barriers, you can start working on ways to break through them. Don't forget to ask about your relationships. Am I surrounding myself with the right people? The people you spend time with influence your mindset, your habits, and your energy. Are the people in your life supportive? Do they inspire you to be better? If not, it might be time to rethink who you're giving your time and attention to. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, challenge you, and share your values. Are you ready? And then there's the big one. Am I living a life that's true to my values? Your values are your foundation. They guide your decisions, your actions, and your sense of purpose. But it's easy to get caught up in what other people expect of you or what seems popular or convenient. Take the time to check in with yourself. Are you living in a way that feels authentic and meaningful to you? If not, what needs to change? Here's the beauty of asking yourself these questions. They keep you accountable. They remind you of what's important and help you stay focused on your path. But asking the questions isn't enough. You also need to act on the answers. If you realize something needs to change, don't just think about it. Start making those changes, even if they're small. Progress happens one step at a time. Make it a habit to ask yourself these questions regularly. Maybe it's something you do at the end of each week, during a quiet moment in the morning, or whenever you feel stuck or unsure. The key is to make it a consistent practice. Self-reflection isn't a one-time thing. It's something you do throughout your life. And don't be afraid to adjust as you go. Life changes, and so do you. What mattered to you a year ago might not matter as much today. That's okay. What's important is that you're honest with yourself and willing to adapt. Regularly asking yourself questions helps you stay flexible and open to growth, no matter what life throws your way. Remember, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you ask yourself. If you're not where you want to be, start asking better questions. What do you want? What's stopping you? What can you do today to move closer to your goals? These questions are your guide. They keep you moving forward, learning and growing. So take the time to pause, reflect, and ask yourself the questions that matter. Make it a habit. Because when you keep asking yourself regularly, you stay connected to your goals, your values, and your purpose. And that's how you build a life that's not just successful, but deeply fulfilling. Number 10, are you moving forward? His isn't just about being busy or going through the motions. It's about making real progress, step by step, toward the life you want. It's about growing, improving, and creating a better version of yourself. The first step in answering this question is honesty. Take a good, hard look at your life right now. Are you better today than you were a year ago? Are your habits, decisions, and actions moving you closer to your goals, or are you stuck in the same place? These aren't easy questions to answer, but they're necessary if you want to make meaningful progress. Moving forward doesn't mean you have to make huge leaps every day. It's not about grand gestures or overnight success. Most progress happens in the small, consistent actions you take daily. Think about it like this. If you take one step every day in the right direction, over time, those steps add up to something big. It's the power of steady effort, day after day. But what if you're putting in the effort and still feel like you're not getting anywhere? That's where self-awareness comes in. Are you focusing on the right things? It's possible to work hard and still stay stuck if your energy is going toward the wrong priorities. Take some time to evaluate where you're spending your time and effort. Are these things truly helping you move forward, or are they just keeping you busy? Here's an important truth. Moving forward requires clarity. You can't make progress if you don't know where you're going. Do you have a clear vision of what you want? Not just vague ideas, but a specific picture of what success looks like for you. If not, take some time to define it. What does a better version of your life look like? What goals excite you? Once you're clear on your destination, it's easier to take steps in the right direction. Sometimes moving forward means letting go of what's holding you back. That could be a toxic habit, a negative mindset, or even relationships that drain your energy. Letting go isn't easy, but it's necessary if you want to create space for growth. Ask yourself, what's weighing me down? What do I need to release to move forward? Another key to progress is flexibility. Life doesn't always go as planned, and that's okay. The important thing is to keep adjusting and adapting. If one path isn't working, find another. If you face setbacks, use them as opportunities to learn and grow. Moving forward isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. One way to stay on track is to measure your progress. Look back at where you started and compare it to where you are now. Celebrate the wins, no matter how small they seem. Did you learn something new? Did you take a step out of your comfort zone? Did you handle a challenge better than you would have in the past? These are all signs that you're moving forward. And let's talk about patience. Progress doesn't always happen as quickly as we'd like. It's easy to get frustrated when things aren't moving fast enough, but remember, real growth takes time. Be patient with yourself and trust the process. The important thing is to keep going, even when progress feels slow. At the same time, be mindful of complacency. Just because you've made progress doesn't mean it's time to settle. There's always more to learn, more to achieve, and more ways to grow. Keep challenging yourself. Keep raising the bar. The moment you stop striving for more is the moment you stop moving forward. One of the most powerful ways to ensure progress is to surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you. Are the people in your life helping you move forward, or are they holding you back? Seek out mentors, friends, and colleagues who push you to be better. Their influence can make a huge difference in your growth. It's also important to keep your mindset in check. Moving forward requires optimism and resilience. You have to believe that better days are ahead, even when the present feels tough. You have to remind yourself that every step, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to your goals. Finally, remember that moving forward is a personal journey. It's not about comparing yourself to others or trying to meet someone else's definition of success. It's about becoming the best version of you. Focus on your own path, your own goals, and your own progress. So are you moving forward? If the answer is yes, keep going. Keep building on that momentum. If the answer is no, don't worry. It's never too late to change direction. Start small, start today, and commit to making progress every single day. Because at the end of the day, moving forward isn't just about reaching a destination. It's about growth, learning, and becoming better every step of the way. And that's a journey worth taking. Your life doesn't get better by chance, it gets better by change. Now, as we wrap up, let me leave you with this. Your future is shaped by what you do today, not tomorrow. Every decision, every small step, and every moment you choose to focus on growth matters. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. You have the power to break through doubt, overcome fear, and create the life you deserve. The key is to stay committed to yourself, to your goals, and to the vision of the life you want. Don't let distractions or setbacks hold you down. Remember, every day is a chance to move forward. So take what you've learned today and start applying it. Reflect, ask yourself the right questions, and take action. You've got what it takes. Believe that, and the rest will follow. Keep pushing, keep striving, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. Thank you for watching. Now go out there and make it happen.